So there's no scarcity in media anymore. So then the value of it is different because of that. So, but we'll hear about scarcity going into the future here. The funny thing is, with there, everybody talks about the scarcity of oil, but actually, oil's not very scarce either.
No,
it's
and
a
they don't
controlled
even
market.
know how much natural gas we have.
Yeah,
they don't even know. They're like, we think we have 300 years left, but
right.
they don't know. Like they've been talking about peak oil for 30 years,
50 for 30 years. Yeah.
50 years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, geez,
exactly.
They've been talking about it since the 70s.
Since the 70s, right? That's when we had the bad gas lines and all that kind of stuff back in the 70s. That was after it was
peak oil.
Was shortly after gas was like 23 cents a gallon.
My awakening started with peak oil. I watched this documentary called Collapse by a guy named Michael Rupert. And he was like, money supply, oil supply, CIA was kind of his thing. And it was just this interesting documentary. And I went and like searched him out on YouTube. And I was like, oh, hey, here's a 3-hour interview with a guy named Joe Rogan who was on Fear Factor. Like maybe I can check that out. Yeah. The rest is history. Peak oil.
Yeah. I think people don't know that actually at the end of September was 20 years of podcasting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's
2004,
crazy.
September 2000.
So which podcast are they marking down? Is that the Daily Source Code? Are they giving credit to Adam Curry, or are they still trying to throw him under the rug?
Well, I don't know if they're marking it with one, because the hilarious thing is I was there with Adam Curry when he was doing the Daily Source Code.
Oh, really?
That's how I know. So,
oh, wow.
I mean, I wasn't personally there. I was listening to Adam Curry and was doing a show before the term podcasting came out. And I wrote Adam Curry and talked, said, what's this podcasting thing? And he's like, well, here, it's the RSS enclosure. And he talked about it in the Daily Source Code. Now, and so the first episode that was considered a podcast for Static Radio was in September of 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually we've been recording since 1999.
Man, you're
weekly.
You got some serious broadcasting. Goddamn, man. I'm like a year in. I suck.
No. I mean, it's not like that. What I'm saying is that I think the interesting thing is that it takes this long for these kind of things to take hold, right? People don't realize that there's so many technologies that like get traction until well into their life, right? So I would say, when I talk about podcasting, this is the third wave of podcasting. So 2004 was when the term was invented, and Curry didn't even invent the term. A journalist did. And I can't remember his name, but he invented the term podcasting, and then Curry's like, that's a great name. Let me talk about that. And then, but Curry and Dave Weiner were the ones who introduced RSS enclosure. Specifically, Dave Weiner. Curry was the Steve Jobs, and Dave Weiner was the Wozniak, right? So he did all the work, and so then that became into the lexicon, right? Podcasting. And then in 2011 was another big surge of podcasts. And then the third one here is 2020. So because of COVID, a lot of people were interested in it and had some time. And so they started making podcasts.